Love, lift, life. We touch into your mind, body, and soul.
Billions of years ago, a meteorite made of vibranium, the strongest substance in the universe, struck the continent of Africa, affecting the plant life around it. And when the time of men came, 5 tribes settled on it and called it Wakanda. The tribes lived in constant war with each other until a warrior shaman received a vision from the panther goddess Bust, who led him to the heart-shaped herb, a plant that granted him superhuman strength, speed, and instincts. The warrior became king, and the first Black Panther, the protector of Wakanda. 4 tribes agreed to live under the king's rule, but the Jabari tribe isolated themselves in the mountains. The Wakandans used vibranium to develop technology more advanced than any other nation. But as Wakanda thrived, the world around it descended further into chaos. To keep vibranium safe, the Wakandans vowed to hide in plain sight, keeping the truth of their power from the outside world.
And we still hide, Baba?
Yes.
Why?
You see, so that's right. We have to understand at this particular time, on a critical time, what is this stuff all about, and what is the key, and what is the mystery? The mystery now is pretty much when you talk about humanity. Been there, done that, not the damn t-shirt. You have to draw a line on whether you are going to become gods, generator, operator, or destroyer, or whether you're going to be human. And once you go over that, you're going to find out. And let me explain what I'm talking about. Let me explain.
Got it.
So you can understand this thing. We get to the meat of what works. You see what I'm saying? What works? We know that we did the human thing for millions of years. And this is how energy works. You do something for millions of years, and the energy works for you. It's just like a child that's in childhood, a person that's in his teenage years, and that works for that particular person. But then the energy moves into adulthood. And those things that you did in your teenage years, although you might be 30 or 40, you would be a laggard riding around on a goddamn hook at 10 speed. You know what I'm saying? Whatever teenagers do. You see what I'm saying? You know, you would be a laggard. You would be something that is basically outlived its function. You see, so humanity at this particular time is now becoming to its adulthood. And that adulthood is the mysteries of Christos, the Christ. There is something beyond this reality, but we don't want to give it to you in the whole thing of when I get to heaven, I'm going to put on my shoes and walk all over God's heaven, milk and honey every day. You know what I'm saying? Sitting out in some damn cloud somewhere. What we're talking about here is creating a mutation into the next step of evolution. But it starts in the mind. Now, what are we talking about starting in the mind?
That's right.
If all of the ancient material says that man is supposed to basically transmutate, transform, metamorphosize into a new being, a new soul, a new spirit. You see what I'm saying? We understand that we are on the verge of that, but the key here is, in the movie The Matrix, they say, look at the spoon. Don't try to bend the spoon. That's impossible.
Right.
The real mystery, there is no spoon. Just bend your mind around the spoon and the spoon will bend. Well, it's the same thing with your mind now. The same thing with your mind functioning like deities.
All right. Right.
This is the key.
I share.
Now, what does Godzilla give a damn about Valentine's Day? You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about, what does Godzilla give a damn whether you wear white after Labor Day?
Bring it down.
You see what I'm saying? Or any human custom. We've been there, we've done that. We got thousands of forms of what we think is right and wrong in humanity, but we're not thinking like gods.
All right. I share.
Or deities. You see? And this is the mystery of what the mystery system was talking about. Now, we did the historical thing, but did the Egyptians learn history? What did the Egyptians think about? That's the key.
The afterlife.
The afterlife, illumination, metamorphosis. They wasn't thinking about history.
They was thinking.
They was living history. But what is the mystery? What is the education here?
Right. I hear you.
When we ask the question, well, how do we make our light shine more? What is the method? The method on what makes your light shine more is what? Gnosis and knowledge. What is knowledge called? It's called light. So the more understanding you have, the more your light shines. So it's not enough to have enough knowledge. We have all the knowledge in the world and it sounds good. But now it's to work on the understanding. Well, what is this? Go back through the tape. Go back to the book. I'm trying to get an understanding. And the more you get an understanding, the more and more your light shines. This thing is metaphysical, mental, and spiritual more than it is physical. So a lot of the physical things they're telling you to do, although it might keep your physical body, but your physical body is a part of the wretched dregs of the earth. So we're talking about spiritual here. We're talking about spiritual. And so what's happening is we got people is confusing spirit with the physical body. There's a whole spiritual realm that's void of the physical, period. So therefore we got to deal with things that's spiritual, and we're talking about the thought realm. Cosmic memory, thought process. So therefore, the more and more you apply yourself with spiritual knowledge, the more and more your light shines, because you're tapping back into that cosmic memory of what the gods used to do. And that cosmic memory is this computer is what really activates your so-called melanin. You see what I'm saying? And that's the key. Gnosis, Gnostic seed, Gnostic race. Knowing. We're talking about thought, and sometimes we have to separate thought and spiritual life from the physical body. When we first get into things, we do all these physical things to act the part and say we're doing things, but that doesn't have any damn thing to do with raising up to the Godhead. It's how much you process this information and try to understand it. You see what I'm saying? Try to understand it. You see? And so that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the light is what actually makes a person grow further and further away of a dollar broth.
You mentioned about Richard King and his book,
Yeah.
The Biological Psychiatry,
Yeah.
and then your spiritual explanation of melanin. Dr. Africa touched on the same principles by talking about the male and female principle, and also art and science. So really, Richard King would represent the scientific part,
Right, yeah.
and you're important to the art.
Yeah, mine is in what is called a cult melanin. That's the real hidden thing. It's more of there's the scientific part and the medical part. The medical part only deals with the medical function of melanin, the skin, certain parts of the brain and all that type of stuff. And although he did go into, because he dealt with the psychology, so he had to deal with the subconscious part. But then again, on the other hand, there is some other things, what is called the occult melanin, which means that melanin is the soul. It's just that people thought that melanin was a substance. Inside of the melanin is one little spark of light. Actually, it's in your heart chakra. It just comes up through the pineal gland. But there's one little spark of light, and that's all you are. You ain't but this big. The white boy now done developed stuff called nanotechnology. Whereas they can put a damn little bug on the wall. You think it's a little damn beetle, and there should be a whole damn camera up in there watching your ass. It's called nanotechnology. He's in Houston. You see, the crackers develop this kind of stuff. But anyway, what it is we are only this big. If you go into Greek mythology, they say that we used to be big until the giants came. Now, this is not talking about the giants of the Nephilim. It's talking about before we fell in here and start thinking that this world was the only world there is.
90 X-ray 98.
24 King, responded 1031 at 642 Madison Ave.
13 Thomas responded 1020 at 540 East 107. Male complainant inside apartment 3B on first floor.
31011 of a residence, 738 Morning Drive.
That's okay. Responding to Washington
Don't hurt me. Just give me a chance! What about my uncle? Did you give him a chance? Did you? Where am I? What is this? I feel... Wow. This feels good. This is something else. What do you think?
I've never seen anything like it. I'm a physicist, not a biologist, but let me look at it in the morning and run some tests.
Can we do that now?
It seems to like you. Don't let any of that get
Melanin is just an ancient substance
characteristics of a symbiote,
that
which needs to bond
is
to a
the
host
active
to
force
survive.
that ties it all together.
Sometimes
You get what I'm
these things
saying?
in nature, when they
Okay, so
bind,
it's like the glue.
it can be hard to unbind.
Not really just the glue as much as the substance that it's the activator. It's the Jerry curl active. So you can have a Jerry curl, but you're going to need some activator.
Right.
And then much more. You know what I'm saying? And then much more. It is used as the active substance, I guess, for all the things that we know, to interpret the world on a higher level, on a spiritual level, depending on how deep in advance you can activate melanin, because it works on many levels. It works on a physical level. So that's why you can walk away with this black don't crack egotistical attitude. And at the same time is why you could channel and talk to spirits that same particular substance. That same particular substance is going to be key in everything you do. It allows you to probe in deep, feel deeper. So that's why we can hear more in music. That's why we created the best. That's why our food tastes much better, because you have melanin on your tongue that makes you experiences all things at a different level. Now, on the other side of that, that's why you niggas is strung out on heroin easier, strung out on coke easier, because the melanin makes you feel it. Like, for instance, that's why when you watch boxing, you see them white boys, they could stand there and you could beat their face until it looks like ground beef. You get what I'm saying? And they still standing there on some Rocky shit. Adrian! And then black person, you know what I mean, it's a whole different thing, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because the melanin, what they call neuromelanin, the melanin in your nervous system. See, there's melanin throughout your system for all different functions. So the neuromelanin in your system allows you to feel pain much quicker. You understand? So we can get slapped, and that's just going to be fire while they get slapped, and they be standing there, come on, hit me again. And because it's not because they're super, because they have very little melanin to tell them that they're actually in pain. So melanin does a lot, you know what I'm saying? And the most you get out of it, because they speak of it in mythology, in the abstract, they're not going to call it melanin. That's just a name we calling it, because it's been attached to what happens when you stand in the fucking sun. But that's just a part of it. You get what I'm saying? Because what happens when you stand in the sun, you actually get messages off of light. And that sun out there, you gotta understand, as Ra, which niggas like to say, and they was worshiping Ra, that's later day shit. You know what I'm saying? You can look at the book Signs and Symbols of the Primordial Man. Who is it? I think that's Charles Finch, maybe. I don't know, but you can find that book easy. Signs and Symbols of the Primordial Man, where he talks about a lot of symbols, number one. And one of the symbols as sun worship in pre-dynastic and the early dynasties wasn't the worship of Ra. It was actually the worship of the Sirius sun and Osiris as a sun. First, he talks about Osiris worship as a woman, number one, and then later as the central Sirius sun. I mean, that's where you get the name, Osiris Sirius. That's where you get the name. And before it became that sun there. Now, the sun out here is a part of the illusion, but it is used to send information on, like all light is. In fact, that's what we call new information, light. You understand? And then when we get a new idea, the light bulb goes off as if you received light. You get what I'm saying? Yep. Let there be light. So light is actually the vehicle for getting information. So this sun gives you information. And to receive the information, the melanin must receive it. So that's why when you stand in the sun, you get a tan. It's really the melanin coming to the surface to receive information. And usually that information speaks directly to the unconscious collective. And collectively, that's why you'll see trends with us. These particular trends are light codes for people who cannot activate the hidden sun within inside themselves. Amun Ra. The hidden sun is what I've been activated as my consciousness. Therefore, the light messages I get come from within. And my evolution is now an internal personal evolution as opposed to the general evolution most black people are going to, still getting light codes from the sun. Melanin plays a key
Albert
role.
Churchward was the author of that Signs and Symbols of Primordial Man.
Yeah, Churchward. Yeah, Albert Churchward.
Thanks, Bradford.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Yeah, Albert Churchward actually did that. So the melanin plays the absolute key role in this process, and probably many other things we don't know yet. You know what I'm saying? Or even need to know about melanin. So it's a different thing from your soul. You get what I'm saying?
Could the melanin be looked at when we look at the ancient signs and symbols ways of looking at it? Could it be looked at like a Zarabanda who's a gateway deity? Could it be considered, a gateway? So when you see the gateway deities, could the melanin be considered as that?
Oh, say again?
How you were saying that melanin, receives the light codes, right, and transmits that to, you know, other parts of our being. So it's kind of like a gateway, right? Where in, like, for instance, Zarabanda would be considered.
Well, look at it. Okay, I got what you're saying. But look at it like your house, Melanin. And in your house, there's a lot of functions. The doors would be gateways in your house, but there's still bedrooms for you to sleep in, still bathrooms, you get what I'm saying, living rooms, different rooms for you to do particular things. So you have to look at more of the versatility of Melanin.
Okay.
You have to look at it more as a versatile thing, that it is the absolute substance that every single thing you do or could choose to do is going to have a melanated thing. They say now melanin in any element, once it attaches itself to, it dominates. So that should really tell a story of melanin. You understand what I'm saying? If it dominates, that means whatever you... So when you see Michael Jackson do what he does, melanin. When you see Michael Jordan do what he does, melanin. And when you see Michael Tyson do what he does, melanin. And those are three different fields. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So when they're full use of their talent, of their skill, and melanin just does what it does, it's going to dominate. That's why we dominate boxing, dominate music, dominate this. Whatever we get in, we dominate. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because melanin's role down here is to master and balance out all impurities, all imbalances, all injustices. You get what I'm saying? So when this place was created in the name of injustice, in the mold of incompetence, in the mold of debauchery, in the mold of ego. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So now your role as the conscious human is to balance all of that out. And you have as a tool this ancient substance called melanin as a tool. And and like I said, your soul just represents your ability to reattach, or it's your tool or your salvation for everlasting life. With your soul means you have the ability to return to everything that is the first. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
to escape outside the prison.
To eventually, escape or go back home. You get what I'm saying? It's your vehicle home. So you'll hear this in mythology as the mothership and all of that. When the mothership comes and all of this. So when you heard niggas talking about swing low, sweet chariot and all that shit coming forth to carry me home, it was subliminally talking about the soul. And I guess some of them were talking about it who knew or who remembered. It was actually talking about the soul. You get what I'm saying? And the soul is actually the mothership. The soul will be Nibiru. You're actually, when you're that spaceship that you see that they keep trying to tell you that aliens came, and they show you all these pictures on the hieroglyphs of aliens in physical ships. Those ships weren't physical. At least I'm not going to say they're physical until somebody shows the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? We keep determining and trying to say they were physical, this or that, the other. But where's the motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? I think the nigga need to show up, or some niggas need to show up. But until then, I'm going to go with what the research and what the best proof comes, and that these things are within you, because that's what they all that's what they all teach anyway. So these ships must be in you. So when they're speaking of these ships, and even though they're physically writing them out, those are symbols. The same way no one physically lived in a man's a whale's stomach for 3 fucking days, named Jonah. They're trying to tell you a story, a metaphor, an allegory.
Y'all boys are funny, man. Y'all are too funny. Y'all letting these people play y'all like a video game. They playing y'all like y'all some kind of video game or something. You are the wheels on the clock with these motherfuckers. You are the wheels on the clock. The elite wants you to stay that way. Disney wants you to love humanity. These movies want you to love humanity. The 1% wants you to stay conformed to this idea of you are human. The elite wants you to keep this circle of time going. That's why y'all are the wheels on this clock. Like, when you tell yourself you are a human and you're a regular American or whatever the fuck they want to say, right? Your melanin will program you that way. Your wish is my command, right? So you have to think of yourself as a chaos being. A God, a creator on this reality. Okay, you're also an observer of this reality. So you don't have no emotional ties or nothing that keeps you locked down into this matrix. The divine melanin cannot operate in the 3 lower chakras. You have to rid yourself of this human plight, this human thought, this, oh yeah, if I just get a job, I'll be good. Or if I just do no. They're telling you in all these movies, they're giving you the science. Your melanin can create whatever the fuck you believe. But it's up to you to program your melanin the way you want this existence to go. Like, y'all know we're supposed to become anew, right? We did this existence already. Like, we did this for millions, if probably billions of years. Destroy humanity. Destroy this reality. Get out the matrix. 2,000 years, that's fucking 2,000 years, my nigga. You crazy? You know in your heart we ain't been here for no damn 2,000 years. Stop getting locked down into this illusion. Shit, read Rudolph Steiner's book, Atlantis and Lemuria. We are the white boy telling you been here for a billion years. Wayne Chandler's book, breaking down science, breaking down history. Telling you how long we've been here, man. Telling you the science that we know been here for millions of years. Ancient future. Read. Get this, man. Program your melanin, man. Program your melanin for what you want to happen. Don't let these people program you. Dream wise.